Tevin Jones and Evan Nolte are our two signatures that we have in, and we're awaiting our other two, which will be arriving shortly. There's some signing parties at schools and other things. But the two players I can comment on are Tevin Jones, who is at Fishburne Military Academy, and looking forward to getting Tevin here. He's a complete guard that was under the radar, and it was fortunate to find him a little late in the game, and I think his year at the post-grad school is really going to help him. He played some football in high school, so he'll have some football toughness is what you like, but Tevin's a complete player with some athleticism to defensively guard the ball and use his quickness, and offensively he can get to the lane with his quickness, but also is a capable three-point shooter. So I really like it when our perimeter players have some completeness, so it'll be good, and again, a hard worker and a leader, and looking forward to having Tevin join our program. And then Evan, you know, I've been following Evan for quite a while. Evan's a very skilled forward who's played on an excellent high school team, and really understands and knows how to play. Has the ability to stretch the defense with his three-point shot, is a competitor, a very heady player, and as his body continues to develop, I think he's going to provide a skilled forward type that I've had success with where I've been. And again, we're looking forward for Tevin and Evan and then the other two to join us. But it's a nice recruiting class, and recruiting classes are always, in my opinion, judged not on their preseason rankings, but how will they develop. Our goal here when I got the job is let's layer this thing so we get 3 or 4 solid classes on top of each other, and I think we're starting to do that, because that's when your program will start developing some quality depth, and there'll be great competition, and some guys will surprise you when they get here and how they develop, and some guys, you know, it just depends how it plays out, but there's enough quality in these 3 recruiting classes when they mature to give us the kind of stability that a program you're trying to rebuild or build up needs. And that's why I'm looking forward to, again, getting this class in and then watching the other ones that we've signed before become older guys and having that maturity that's important.
So is your philosophy more trying to fill specific spots in recruiting, or just finding the best players you can and seeing how they fit in when you get them here?
Well, our philosophy is, you know, recruit players, student athletes that fit your style, fit the university's vision. So that's where it starts. But there's a talent acquisition mode that you have to get in when you first take over a program. You just got to get quality players. And as you get that established, then it becomes a little more need specific. And I think that's where we're at, bringing in some interior players. I think our recruiting class is complete in this year's class, meaning there's some interiors, there's some size, there's some perimeter skill, there's some athleticism. And I think as you start getting down the road, as now this being our 3rd class, it becomes more specific, and as our classes will be in the future, to fill needs and replace guys that are departing. But the initial, the first class, and even the second one was a little more about finding the best talent possible that fit the characteristics of the university and our coaching staff. And I think as it evolves, then it becomes more specific.
So this year's team, are you ready to get to work, see what they can do this weekend?
Yeah, I am. You know, we had some valuable scrimmages in the preseason. We've practiced hard. You know, we got to get everybody healthy. I think that's every coach's concern at this point. We got some guys banged up a little bit, but the ability now to step out onto the floor and see if what we've been practicing is sticking. Because, you know, you get in settings and there's always that adage of how much game slippage will there be? There'll be some, that's the case, but will we be able to, when we get in competitive settings, really gel? And you'll see certain guys step up when they're playing in game settings, and I think your rotation will evolve. I think we have an idea of what our rotation will be, but that's fluid also as the games come on, and I think our guys are excited to play. They're tired of going against each other. They're probably tired of seeing myself and the other coaches every day. They want to compete. That's why they come here, to play from an athletic standpoint in this arena and play against the high-level teams and march towards a goal that every one of us has.
How did they look in those scrimmages?
At times, good. There was some real positives to those. We're not allowed to get into the details, but also why they're valuable is you really see the areas, okay, we got to go to work. When you play teams that are great offensive rebounding teams and you see that, or teams that can pressure you, you know, it exposes those areas where you need to develop, but also it allows you to also play a lot of guys a lot of minutes and see them get exposure that you wouldn't normally get maybe in a game setting. So I think there was certainly some pluses, and then certainly some areas where you say, okay, we know we better shore these things up or we're going to get in trouble, and that's really valuable.
How has Mike looked? Is he healthy?
Mike's had a little bit of a up and down preseason. The last few days he's coming around and he's practiced and things have looked good. So I'm hopeful for Mike. He's an important piece certainly to this team, and his last few days have been real good. So again, I'm real hopeful that he'll remain strong and healthy, and he's been okay. But sometimes I think it's been frustrating, and certainly not playing a year, you're a little rusty. So we're all hopeful he'll be good and getting the other guys healthy. We need everybody on board. Though we have some quality depth, it's important that some key guys are really able to go.
What's the number one thing you're looking for Sunday afternoon to see?
Certainly, we talk about a level of competitiveness and hunger, but also an awareness of how we need to play to be successful. We talk about sometimes in these scrimmages or when you play teams, if you're going against the number one team in the country, you have to be ready. Well, we don't know a lot about South Carolina State because they're a newer team, as we are. We don't have a video from this year. So will we approach them in every game in the early season with a sense of this is how we've prepared, this matters, or when you get into competition, well, all of a sudden things fly out the window that you've been working on. That's always the test as a coach and the challenge. See, will our team really understand how we have to play to be good, and then have sort of that chip on your shoulder, or that hunger that's needed, that you see in the real good teams early in the season. They just go about their business and they play. And so we're going to look for that, knowing as you look around the landscape of college basketball, it's competitive, whether it's Division IIIs playing Division I's in exhibitions or other ones. So you've got to be ready. And I think our guys are excited to see where we're at, and then, come together on Sunday and then take the next step. We got a few games coming up here in a short amount of time, so we've got to be ready.
How about you personally? Obviously, going into your third year, how excited are you to see what you have and where you are as a program right now?
Looking forward to it. I am. You can sit there and practice, but you've got to test it in the game. So again, we've had a real hard, intense, and I think productive preseason, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out on the floor as we advance into the season. And I think when we're healthy, we're an improved team. But when I say think, hope, all that stuff, that's the beauty of competition. It plays out on the floor. And, we feel good about things, but we're going to learn a lot come Sunday and on, because the ball tips up and it's for real.